Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So I'm going to be doing something a little different today. I'm going to be talking about my Odroid here, and I've had this since about like 2018, built it myself. I went through different SD cards with it. Right now I have a 2 GB model in it, but I mean, I've had bigger in it before, but it's whatever. I mean, they're all small games. Well, today I'm going to be just taking it apart, cleaning it, and yeah, just wanted to have you guys watch, maybe talk about it just a little bit. Yeah, so I haven't cleaned it in maybe about 2 years or so. I lent it to a friend of mine, and he didn't really use it much. Like, he had it, but it was just kind of like sitting there. So I imagine a lot of like crumbs got inside of it and stuff, and just dirt. And when he did use it, I imagine that it also kind of got dirty a little, you know, sweat, and just other things in general, grease, you know. Yeah, I remember building this back in 2018 in my bedroom. My hands were so sweaty. They're not sweaty now, not at this moment, but yeah, I remember just thinking, like, you know, will it work when I turn it on? Will it function? That kind of stuff. And I'm gonna give these screws here a little alcohol bath, just because they're getting a little rusty, and I know that'll help just a bit, just a bit. All right. Not for cleaning. I really enjoy using this. This is probably my my favorite handheld to use of all the ones that I probably own, and I don't own like a crazy amount, but I own a fair bit. I really like that I can play the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games that I used to play when I was a kid, and I mean, I grew up a lot on Game Boy Advance, so I never used to play on like original Game Boy hardware, but I mean, I played them at least. I'm just glad I get to play those, and then I never really got to play Game Gear. Like, I've gotten to hold one, I've gotten to see one, but I've never really gotten to play one, and I'm just glad that it makes me able to do that, and with such like a clear, such a clear screen and a bright screen, because everyone knows the original Game Gear was ass. Like, the screen was ass, dude. But yeah, let me just unplug this stuff. This battery, by the way, I haven't charged it in like a year. It's not like expanding or anything. It's pretty good, but I haven't charged it in a year. Still has like 70% on it. It's insane how power efficient it really, like, the chip on here is. That it just doesn't. God, this one's fucking hard. It just doesn't use that much power. That's how. Okay. So it's the main board we have here. So, stuck to it. I'm gonna give these a scrub real quick in just a second. I'm using. I'll show you the parts I'm using in a minute. But yeah. Take them off. Yeah, I always wanted to get like an Odroid Go Advance, because I wanted to play the Game Boy Advance games on it, and I wanted to play like PSP stuff like that. And I liked the fact that you can build it. I just like building stuff, and it's just the fact that you can build it really piqued my interest. And I mean, I got this like maybe a year or two after it came out, and then I remember being so excited for the Odroid Go Advance, but I never got it. And I think it's because it never brought me the same level of excitement. Like, I wasn't excited for it as I was this, you know. And I don't know, something about the form factor too. Like I said, I always had a Game Boy Advance, but I never had a like original Game Boy. So I had like an original Game Boy Advance and an SP, and I really liked using the SP. And I feel like the form, like the way this is shaped, is very similar like that. And it I don't know, I just really enjoy it. Let me just move out of this. But yeah, I was thinking this year about getting the Advance before it gets discontinued. I know that the Super and the Ultra exist, but I mean, like I said, I like building my consoles. If I didn't, I would have gotten an Ambernic one by now and just probably have ditched this thing, maybe. Who knows? But you know, like I said, I just really enjoy using it, and it's very sleek, very slim. It's about like a little bit smaller than or it's a little bit bigger than my phone in its case, and it's pretty light too. I really like the acrylicness too. Like it just makes it very, I don't know, it gives it like a retro feel that I like. Like I said, I never owned a Game Boy Color, so I can't say that, like, you know, it gives me the nostalgia of the see-through. I just like the aesthetic. That's it. Alright, let me get another Q-tip. Yeah, so some of the parts I'm using in this aren't the stock parts. Like these membranes here, these green ones are, I'm not sure if it's Game Boy Color or Game Boy Pocket, but they're those parts that I ordered. These are OEM parts, by the way. They're not like third party parts and stuff. But I ordered them because they just have a better feel, in my opinion, than the ones that shipped with the Odroid Go. The ones that came with it were like these gray ones that they're all right, but they felt very mushy. Like they didn't have like a good tactileness to them. So I went ahead and I swapped it out. Now I very much love this one. Like it's very good. It does its job very well. And yeah, I'd recommend if you have one to swap it out. You know, I mean, I think most days most people probably don't have this, but you know, I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot in the past. So, it's whatever. You know. But yeah, the button here, I broke off a peg, but the button here is a Game Boy Pocket or a Game Boy Color one. I'm pretty sure it's Game Boy Pocket one, but it wouldn't fit because the third peg was a bit bigger, so I broke it off. I tried to do it with the B one, but the B one didn't fare so well, so I kind of just stuck with the stock one, and I mean it works. Like I said, it doesn't have as good of a feel as the A button, but I mean, it still works, like I said. So yeah, it's all you can really ask for. And it has something of an original feel to it, like the original console, but I mean, it's not the same. Like I said, it's a bit mushy, or not mushy. The buttons are a bit sharp. Like these are more rounded, the original, and these are more sharp. And I mean, with the original membrane, it makes it a little better, but it's still a little bit like it'll cramp up your thumb pretty quickly. This black one, original membrane. Again, it just the rubber on it. It just has a different feel to it than the one that it shipped with. I'll show that in a sec. So here's that on start and select, and then this is the one it shipped with. Like I said, this one just feels a bit more like rubbery, mushy. This is kind of how the membranes, these ones were, and yeah, just didn't like how they felt. And if I could, I would have ordered 2 of these, but it just came in a set, so I couldn't. I'll probably order more buttons in the future at some point. Hand's a bit shaky. Haven't done this in a minute. Yeah, I think that's alright though. See, our buttons are in. I'm not going to take the screen out or anything. There's no need to when cleaning this. Like, be just a waste. It's a little tricky to get it in. I think that being sealed doesn't help, but a little bit tricky to get it in. I can do it though. Let's see. Done it before. There we go. It's in. It's in. Just took a second. There we go. See? All nice and secure. So latch this down. Alright, I just need to screw it in. It's my screwdriver. So I remember when I initially got it, learning about the chip that it comes with, the ESP32. So it wasn't made for emulation, like it wasn't made to play video games, but let me put this in before I forget about it. There we go. But it wasn't made for emulation. It wasn't made to play video games, but hard kernel just kind of like freeballed it and was like, yeah, you know, I mean, it has the capability to, it has the power to, so you know, let's make it, you know. And they made this as part of their 10th anniversary. I mean, it says it on there. See, I really like it though. It was designed by John Lee. Excellent design, excellent design. It's really nice. I feel like it stood the test of time, mostly because I think I said earlier the chip is very power efficient, so you don't really have to worry about charging it. I mean, if you compare it to an original Game Boy or even like, I guess, NES, you know, it does drop frames a bit, and it is a few frames behind the original if you were to compare them. But I feel like it's a good handheld, you know. The screen's pretty bright. I never really play with the volume on. I'm just not that kind of guy. Let's see. This way. Yeah, I didn't really know about battery expanding back in the day when I got this, and I once I learned about it, I mean, I've never really been worried about it with this one, because it just, I don't know, sometimes the cover won't go down right here, but I know it's not the battery expanding. I know it's just it giving me trouble. The case, you know, because it's acrylic, it's a little flimsy. Also, there's no speaker filter, which I feel would have been a good addition to it. Maybe sometime in the future, I'll try to look for one the size of it and then add it to it. You know, maybe one from a Game Boy Advance or something. I feel like that would help to dampen it a little bit. Cause I mean, I'll show it in just a sec, but it's a bit loud, like the sound. It's 4 volumes, but it got like. Boy, dang, are they loud? Boy, dang, who the heck says that? Yeah, I really like this acrylic look. Any console I have, if there's an acrylic shell to it, I try to swap it out for it. I did that with my Game Boy Advance. I plan on doing that with my SP when I put an IPS screen in it, like a bright screen. I just have an O1 screen in it, and I like the O1 screen. I know a lot of people prefer the 101 screen, but I mean, as long as it has a light and I can play my Game Boy Advance games, I'm happy. But I just like putting acrylic in it. I have a 3DS right now, an original and a new one. And if there was an acrylic shell for those, I would definitely change it. I know there's one for the XL, but I don't have an original XL. I just have a new 3DS XL, and I have an original 3DS. And yeah, I do plan on doing it for DS in the future. I just have to get another one, because my original one is like, some of the screws are stripped, so I can't really do it on that. Sorry. Alright, well, finishing touches are back on. And then we gotta just scrub the screws and pretty much be done with that. Put them back in. So let's just take them out and do it. You know, it'd probably be better with the screwdriver if I took them out individually. Nope. But the screwdriver I'm using, it's just a cheap little one that came with the kit for whatchamacallit. I think it was Switch joysticks or something. I'm not too sure, but it's just a cheap little thing. You know, it may have came with a Game Boy shell I ordered. I'm not sure. All right, that's all the screws. Now let me go ahead and put them in. Best ones at the top, worst ones at the bottom. Okay. I like to twist it left till I feel that or hear that, and then I just twist it in so I don't mess up the thread or screw on the thread wrong or something like that. There we go. I guess since I'm near the completion of it, I just want to talk about the firmware in it. So when I originally built this, I was using the Go Play firmware, which is the stock one that Odroid sets you up with, or that hard kernel sets you up with. Just move that. Well, I was using that for years and years and years, and it was giving me no problems. Whoops. It was giving me no problems. But I found out about custom firmware on it, which was interesting, you know? I mean, I knew in my mind, just based on the power of the chip, like, there's no way this shit's gonna run, or no way this thing's gonna run Android. So it just kind of never fully goes down. But I knew it was gonna give me, you know, limited options on what the firmware would really do for it. But I've tried some on it, and I like the Super Go Play, which is the one that I'm using now. Let me just wipe it. No, it's the rusty one. Let me use this one. I really like the Super Go Play. It improves the emulation functionality. Still be a couple frames behind, you know, than the base console, but it's better than it was before. It makes it like it's kind of like stock, but like a better version of the stock, you know. I use that right now, and that's pretty good. There we go. Now I'm just gonna show it off real quick. When I play this, I don't really play like, let me get that in frame. I don't play like a huge selection of it. I mostly only play like, let me see, Tetris Director's Cut. It was only released in Japan, not here in America, and yeah. I mean, I could just play this for hours and hours and just go on with it. Oops, fucked. I messed up there. I think I'm gonna stop it right there though. But yeah, this was my Odroid Go. I really like it. It's probably gonna have it for more years to come. I've tried the original D-pad in it. It just felt too mushy. Maybe it wasn't enough like solidness. I think maybe a pocket or a color one would be good. I'm just, for this, I'm sticking with the stock for now. I'll get another B and another membrane at some point. Like I said, I think a muffle would work better for this, because the sound just blares at loud volume. I don't know if there would be like a different power button. But yeah, I do hope in the future, using the 10 pins, that developers are able to make it so we can interface this with a link cable, or potentially another Odroid, so we can do like Pokemon trades, Pokemon battles, that type of thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed taking it apart and talking about it today. I guess if you know, I mean, I'm gonna make them anyways, but if anyone wants to see more videos kind of like this, where I talk about my older consoles as I kind of take them apart and clean them, you know, just, I don't know, just like the video. You don't have to even comment. I don't really care about that. I mean, it'd be nice, but whatever.